Hey everybody, it's Amber. Hi. New location. I'm coming to you from our living room. I got tired of the guest room, plus I've got stuff in there now too. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video just to check in with y'all. First, hello to the new subscribers. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I'm sure it's gonna be a long one. I just wanted to let you guys know, I know in the last video I mentioned that the second consultation I had and what the kind of plan was moving forward, tentatively speaking anyways. So that was on the 29th that the actual consultation was, and I think I shot the video later that afternoon. Tuesday, I went back for, which was the very next day on the 30th, I went back for some blood work and an ultrasound and to do my infectious disease test that I guess the government requires if you're gonna do IVF. So the doctor just ordered all of those for me to do. That way, when we are ready to move forward with IVF, we have all the preliminary testing and stuff done. So, I was kind of amazed because the doctor herself did the ultrasound, which that I've never had, where the actual doctor was the one that did the ultrasound. But, so anyways, she did the ultrasound, and I was kind of glad that she did because she was awesome, like very thorough, very great about explaining to me what she was looking at, what she was looking for, if there was any issues or concerns, or if everything looked good. So yeah, I'm like really impressed with the service that I get at this clinic, even though it is a little bit more on the pricey side of things. I feel like it's just more personal and more personable. Like the actual doctor is Dr. Mira Abashan, and yeah, she was just way more personable and awesome. So anyways, I liked her at the consult, and then the next day when she went in and she did the ultrasound, that was the first part that they did when I got there on the 30th. So first she looked at my uterus and was kind of checking the shape and getting the measurements and all of that. She told me that she did see some white spots on the screen, and she was telling me that what that was is that was endometrial tissue that is growing into the muscle of the uterus, which is why I'm having more painful cycles and like more cramping and heavier cycles than what I probably should have. So they were just little tiny spots of white. She said that basically what it is like endometriosis, but a very mild version of it, because thankfully I was on birth control for a long time, and so that kind of kept the endometriosis at bay, she thinks. So, but anyway, so she said it wasn't anything to be concerned about because it wasn't like big bands of endometriosis. It was very mild little spots where it's growing into the muscle. So it's causing me to have, like I said, heavier cycles and more cramping when I am on my cycle. But other than that, it's not gonna really cause a problem. She said she wasn't concerned about it. So there was that. And then the other thing that she did see when she's looking at my uterus is this little tiny bubble that she said was a cyst. And so again, she said it was just a very small cyst. It was the only one that she saw, and it was inside my uterus. She said that that can grow with the stimulation medication, but again, she wasn't concerned about it at this point. She said that they would just monitor it while I was taking the medication and make sure it didn't grow or anything. But again, she wasn't really concerned. She said everything else seemed to look good in my uterus. So then she went to my right ovary. Now, mind you, I was told before by the other doctor that I had a low ovarian reserve because they counted my follicles and I only had 12. And they didn't tell me then what the ideal number is or anything. So that's kind of frustrating when they're like, you're low and this is your number, but then they don't give you anything to like base that off of where you should be. So she did do that. I asked her and she said that they like to see anywhere from 15 to 20 for a good like IVF cycle. So, and she also told me that it can vary from month to month. So even though I might have had like 12 then, that the next month I could have like 15 or the next month I could have like 10, that it varies by a couple each month. Usually not a huge range, but a little bit. So, yeah, so when she looked at my right ovary, she sat there and counted all of the little follicles. And guys, she found 20 follicles on just my right ovary. I was kind of amazed because, and she told me, she said, well, remember how yesterday I told you that you should be between 15 and 20 when we do IVF? So the fact that you have 20 makes me think that 1, you don't have a low ovarian reserve, and 2, that will have a good response potentially to the medication for IVF. So I was really, really excited to hear that news. She looked at my left ovary and she did have some trouble finding it on the ultrasound, which they always do. I mean, I have no idea why that is. But well, actually I do because she told me. But the doctor told me that apparently my left ovary is up higher than my right one. And so it's further from where they stick the little probe in, that it's harder to see because it's further away. So the little like Doppler, I don't know, whatever it is, the ultrasound thing can't pick up the full image of the left ovary. I'm talking a lot with my hands. Again. Anyhow. So, yeah, so she couldn't get a good look at it. She said she could only see a small portion of the ovary, and what she was able to see, she counted 5 follicles on, which isn't fantastic. But with the fact that I have such a good number on my right, there's a good chance that there's probably more on the left than what she was seeing. And she also said that when I do go forward with IVF, with the stimulation medications, it'll make the whole ovary bigger. And so she'll be able to see it better with the ultrasound. And yeah, so she told me that just based off of what she was seeing with the ultrasound, that she wasn't concerned at all, that she felt like we have really good chances of having a successful IVF turnout, and that we might only really need 1 IVF cycle, but she still recommended going with the banking due to having to weed out Jason's genetic mutations. So she still told me to go ahead and get the blood test done, and that will just double check everything. So I got the results back of my blood test yesterday, I think it was. It was either yesterday or Monday. And sorry, whoa. And so so I was looking at the results online because they post them in the little patient portal, and you can go and click through each different report that they pull. And, so my AMH was good, my FSH was good. They told me before the results were posted to the portal, they told me that the only thing that was problematic that they could see was that my vitamin D levels were low, and so they recommended that I take a supplement with vitamin D in it. But when I actually looked at the printout report, and then did some research online and compared to what it should be for a woman my age. Yeah, everything was within the normal range, and like comfortably within the normal range. It wasn't like at the very top or at the very bottom of the normal range. So that was so comforting. I'm really glad that things like that whole low ovarian reserve thing is done and over with, and I don't have to stress about that right now. I don't know if it was a fluke or what. I just kind of thought, well, maybe God healed me. I don't know, but I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm just gonna take it and say that I'm just really glad that everything seems to be going in a positive direction for this, and that I'm getting lots of positive feedback that we should be able to have a successful IVF. Having said that, though, after the second appointment, I met with the financial counselor after they did all the blood work and the tests and everything. And to stick with that initial plan that she gave me at the first appointment, which was to do 2 egg banking cycles, and then 1 transfer with the PGD and the PGS testing, all of that together, in their services, and then with what they project my medication will cost and everything, all of that together, we're looking at a little over $33,000. Jason's just now coming home, so you guys will get to see him. Hey, babe. So anyways, that's kind of the gist of it. I will have a little chat with y'all later. Bye.